Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. So this video is about why I gave up sugar for 2 full years and how it helped me heal my autoimmune disease. No joke, I literally gave up sugar for 2 full years and it changed my life. So if you're suffering from any disease, whether it's an autoimmune disease like Crohn's or colitis or cancer or anything, I definitely pay attention to this video and consider using this sort of strategy. So if you're wondering why I made the decision to give up sugar for 2 full years, a quick recap. I was experiencing excessive digestive issues. If it's multiple bowel movements a day, rapid weight loss, and a host of other symptoms that are very similar that you'd experience with having an inflammatory bowel disease. So pretty much using Google is a great tool. I pretty much self-diagnosed myself and knew that I had some sort of inflammatory bowel disease, and I knew for a long time prior to getting diagnosed. I was just really scared to actually go to the doctor and have him label it. So before I was actually officially diagnosed, I started looking, and I was looking for alternative protocols because I was really scared of taking any sort of medication or getting an operation. I was complete chicken. I was scared of medication. It's definitely not something that I didn't want to be on for the rest of my life. So I started searching and eventually looking through forums and looking through other things online. I found a diet that seemed to be working for a lot of people, and the diet was called the SCD Diet. So I decided I'd order a book, and it was called Breaking the Vicious Cycle. I ordered the book, it came in, and I decided to flip through the book, and I'll be straight up honest from the beginning. I was lazy. I didn't read through the whole book. I just went through it, got the general gist of the diet, and decided I'd give it a try. And ultimately, I went online and I actually just downloaded a guideline, and the guideline was pretty much just an illegal versus illegal list. So pretty much what I could eat and what I couldn't eat. And I ended up doing a half-assed version of SCD, which I generally followed SCD, but I also allowed a bunch of cheats. It was just me not wanting to follow the outline and doing things my own way. And I'm not saying that it was good or bad. It just was the way that I decided to start the diet off. But that all changed after I got sick. And after I officially got diagnosed, so I did my half-assed version of SCD probably for a month or something like that, a few months. And my disease didn't seem to get any better or any worse. It just sort of I was sort of consistent. But when I actually officially got diagnosed, or slightly before when I had my colonoscopy, I experienced my first severe flare. And my disease pretty much went in a full 360 degrees. I went from being able to eat almost anything I wanted on occasion to eating almost nothing with having severe flare issues. And at that point, I decided, hey, you know what? I'm actually going to give this diet and I'm going to give this protocol a try. I read the book. I said, hey, I'm doing this. And I remember quitting sugar was probably one of the hardest things for me because it was like, hey, you know what? I'm giving it up. I remember my sugar cravings were so bad, I would chew chocolate bars, put them in my mouth, I would chew them, and then I would spit them into the garbage can or spit them into the toilet. It was brutal. I was so addicted to the sugar. I'd go through my house, I'd look for anything that I could find that was like processed garbage, especially sugar, granola bars, you name it, candies, cookies, anything that I could find, and I'd eat them. And sometimes I'd spit them out, sometimes I wouldn't. And would I pay the price for it? Of course I would. And I remember doing that, and I remember that the cravings were so bad that I finally said, hey, I'm just gonna throw this stuff in the garbage. I'd literally go into the garbage can, into a dirty garbage can, pull out the food, and I'd eat it again. Like, how pathetic is that? And I hate to admit it, but that's really what I did. The cravings were so bad that the only way that I could stop myself from going into the garbage can would be to spray Windex on the items in the garbage can so that I wouldn't actually go and eat them. That's when you realize that your addiction is an issue. So it was definitely hard for me to actually give up sugar initially. But you know what? When I finally got through it and I was able to give it up completely, and like I said, when I had that 360 degree change when my health went from being okay to completely horrible, I got to the point that I couldn't eat anything because my symptoms were so severe. So I was almost forced to not eat any kind of sugar. And once I passed that transition where I couldn't eat it, and I finally just said, hey, I'm giving this up, things got a lot better. But I'd be lying if I said to you that it was easy. But the better question is, was it worth it? Was it worth giving up sugar for the 2 years that I gave it up? Without a doubt, it was worth it. There's like a plethora of awesome benefits to giving up sugar. My energy increased, inflammatory symptoms went down. All of a sudden, it was like my joint pain was going away. I could see better, I felt better, my bowel movements were slowly starting to become somewhat normal. You know, there was more, it seemed like my thought was better. I was more concentrated, more focused, and so many other benefits that I just can't think of at the moment, but there really was so many benefits to giving up sugar. So if you're thinking about, like, if you're wondering about should you reduce sugar or should you think about making a change, I'd highly suggest doing it because it definitely was life-changing. And I'm not saying you have to give up sugar forever. Anybody that's thinking this is, I remember when I was looking for diet options or looking for strategies, we're constantly thinking about what we have to give up. And that's scary for us because it's like, who wants to give up all the things that they love, all the things that we enjoy eating? But it's not like you have to give it up forever. You're just giving it up for a period of time so that you can heal your gut. So that could be 6 months, that could be a year, that could be 2 years. Every single person's going to be different. But getting to a point where you can heal your gut, you can go to a point where you can enjoy things. And the way that I am now is I pretty much do the right thing 80% of the time, and I enjoy cheats 20% of the time. And I totally believe in the 80-20 rule. And so if I'm on the weekend, if it's the weekend and I want to hang out with some buddies and I want to have some cake or I'm at a party, you name it, have something that might contain some sugar, I don't worry about it because I know at the end of the day is I'm doing the right thing the majority of the time. And if I want to let loose and enjoy some cheats, that's what I do. But I did have to put in the time, sacrificing not having sugar to be able to have it in moderation now. So that's ultimately the truth that I got to be honest, you got to sacrifice a little bit so that you can enjoy some of it now. But what you're going to notice too is that as you go through a healing protocol or a healing plan, your way of treating yourself or the way that healing works is it's almost going to be an intuitive plan. So you're going to go from being, I want sugar, I want sugar, I want all the things that I can't have, to eventually being in this optimum condition where you feel great and you feel awesome. And the question is more going to be is, do I want the sugar? And if I do want the sugar and I eat the sugar, how does it make me feel? How do I operate? So if you're eating sugar and it makes you feel crappy, like you have no energy, you feel joint pain, and you have a host of other symptoms, it's not ultimately going to be worth it because you're going to be addicted to feeling well. And that's how I am now, that sugar doesn't really do me any benefit. I do enjoy it, like I said, on occasion, and especially during festivities and the holidays, things like that. But binging on sugar for a few days in a row, it doesn't do anything for me but bring inflammatory symptoms back, like feeling joint pains. I'm 35 years old. I love the fact that if I eat healthy, I feel no joint pains. I have the energy of an 18-year-old, and that's simply awesome. But again, I'm going to cut this video short. Thanks for tuning in. And if you guys have any questions or you want to share your experience with giving up sugar or how you did it, the challenges that might have occurred to you along the way, definitely leave a comment, contribute, guys, because we're all thinking the same sort of thing. We all know it's a little bit hard to give some of these things up, but I'm telling you guys it's worth it. And if you guys have any questions, concerns, anything, leave them below, guys. Contribute. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks a million.
Are you tired of feeling crappy? Get my free healing guide. Tips, tweaks, and hacks. Click the description for more information.